So this is an adult bedtime story. If you're interested in being kept informed about future adult bedtime stories, just subscribe below, and if you enjoy this bedtime story, find it helpful, please leave a comment and give it a thumbs up as well. So I hope you enjoy this story. As you listen to this bedtime story, so you can begin to relax and fall asleep. And to begin with, you can get yourself comfortable, and you can close your eyes. And as you listen to me, my voice will be in the background whilst you drift off comfortably asleep, relaxing in your own way while you follow my voice and listen to this story. And you can drift more comfortably asleep as you continue listening, and each time you listen, you can sleep deeper and more sound and relax. And this story is The Cave Dive. And so I'm going to guide you on a journey about a diver who goes out to sea. And this diver goes out on a boat, leaves from the shore. And it's a rigid inflatable boat. And the diver turns on the engine and starts steering that boat out to sea with the buzzing sound of the engine in the background. And the sloshing of the water and splashing of the waves. And every now and then the boat hits slightly bigger waves that it leaps over, almost like they're ramps. It goes up a wave and then splashes down, then goes up a wave and splashes down. And after a while, the diver turns off the motor and the boat glides gently to a stop. And the diver drops down an anchor just to hold this boat in place. And from where the boat is, the diver gazes back towards the shore, and the shore's just on the horizon. And all the diver can hear here is the sloshing of the water against the boat, the odd sound of seabirds, a slight sea breeze, and just peace and calm. And the diver gets their diving gear. They put the tanks on their back, put their weight belt round the middle, wearing their scuba gear. They put the face mask on and the goggles on. Take a couple of test breaths through the gear, just to make sure the scuba gear is working fine. Check the air level. Have one last look around at the ocean's surface, noticing its calmness, noticing the colour of the ocean, the colour of the water, noticing the clarity of that water. Then the diver sits on the edge of the boat, holds their mask in place, and drops backwards with a splash. And as soon as the diver enters the water and goes underwater, the sound changes. There's the sound of bubbles just after the diver enters the water. There's the feeling of the water rushing across the body, rushing into the diver's suit. And there's a certain calmness, a certain quality to being underwater. And the diver turns themselves round so they can look down in the direction they're going. And they release some of the air from their jacket. And very gently, with the flippers on their feet, give a couple of kicks, and gracefully, calmly, with everything underwater seeming to move so slowly, almost like time slowing down, they swim down towards a dark area on the ground, towards a cave deep under the sea. And the diver swims down deeper and deeper, swims down deeper and deeper. And the deeper they swim, the darker everything begins to get. And gazing back from time to time, they can see the light at the surface, see the shimmering water sparkling as waves pass over, see different fish swimming around. And as they swim down deeper and deeper towards the bottom, they can notice different sea plants swaying in under the sea. They can notice how their breathing is slowing comfortably down, how they're breathing using their whole lungs. How they find the experience so relaxing as they go deeper and deeper. And then the diver reaches the hole and swims into that underwater cave. And as they swim into the cave, so the sound changes again. And the atmosphere changes again. Almost like the diver has taken themselves to a new level of calmness, a new level of peace. And the diver reaches out with a hand and touches the wall of the cave while they swim into the cave. And they can feel the water against their feet with each kick they give as they swim deeper and deeper into the cave. That's it. And the diver wanted to swim into this cave because there's something magical down here. And the cave seems to get narrower and narrower and darker, so the diver gets out its torch. The diver turns the torch on, and as the diver shines the torch around, they notice how the light bounces off the cave walls and bounces off the surface of the water, because the water has some pockets of air above it in places along this cave. Then the diver sees what they've been looking for. They see an opening into a cavern. They swim into that opening. Surface within that opening, shining their light around. And they see huge crystals, glistening and sparkling. They take their diving mask off, gaze around, breathe in that cave air. Air that very few people have breathed over millions of years, because very few divers have ever entered this cave. And some of the crystals are as big as the diver. And there's purple crystals, pink crystals, milky white crystals, clear crystals. And really tiny crystals on the ceiling that glisten as the torchlight strikes them. There's the echoey sound in here as water drips from the cave roof into the water below. And the diver swims ashore, and there's a shoreline that looks almost like a beach that's sandy along the shore. Yes, and the diver goes out onto the shore and decides to relax on this shore. And there are some lights down here from previous dives that the diver can turn on. And as they turn on those lights, so the cave lights up. And the diver can see the vastness of the chamber they're in. And can see how crystal clear the water is, and hear the gentle sloshing as the waves lap on the shore. And the diver takes some time to just relax back and listen to that peace and quiet. There's no sounds of cars or aeroplanes or other people talking. There's no sounds of animals or wind. Just the faint sloshing of the water on the shore. and the occasional dripping of water dripping from the ceiling down into the water below. And the diver takes this time to really relax, gain some inner peace. This has become their sanctuary. This has become their place where they go, where they want to get away from things, where they want to find clarity of mind, want to relax, want to drift off asleep, want to have that sense of peace. And then after a while, the diver decides it's time to leave the cave. So they get themselves ready again, walk back into that water, drop themselves under the water, and just enjoy floating for a while, floating, relaxing, drifting and dreaming for a while. Before they find their way back out of the cave and swim their way back up to the boat, nice and slowly, nice and gently, taking plenty of time to swim back to the boat. And then taking time once they're back in the boat to just take a relaxed journey back to the shore. But they take their time swimming from the cave back up to the boat. They got plenty of air and they take all the time they need as you drift, dream and sleep. And drift off dreaming and sleeping now to the story as they slowly swim back to the boat, relaxing.